Hey all, and welcome to this week's live trading. So today I'm looking to short the Aussie dollar, and that's only going to be on the basis that we have a very nice 5-minute bearish candle over here. Now, the reason for me taking this particular position is because we hit a number of resistance overall. So if we were to go all the way out into the daily, we can actually see that price has kind of been flirting with this upward sloping trend line for the longest time now. And I've been waiting for price to actually break through this upward sloping trend line to kind of run it all the way down to 66.70. Now, on that basis, we actually had the market kind of break and you know, ran a little bit below this particular upward sloping trend line. And now we see price kind of pulling back. And so the question that we're faced with is the market looking to do a complete reversal? Because bear in mind, guys, we are on a relatively relevant level over here. The market has seen this level multiple times, and a test on this particular level is not necessarily going to be too surprising. And even considering the fact that the overall market has been making marginal new lows, which is also a relatively good sign of the price potentially wanting to do a complete reversal. I will most definitely still see a short opportunity on the basis that we still have our moving averages all pointing to the downside. And if I scale over into my 5-minute time frame, the opportunity to get short is definitely there. So it's just about waiting to see how this candle is going to close. And based on the close of this candle, that will then determine whether or not I'll be able to get into the position. Now, if I go over into my 30-minute time frame, what you guys will see is that we got the moving averages all pointing to the downside, as well as the 15-minute as well. So we got this nice double top pattern over here, a beautiful potential shooting star, and that is why I'm just waiting for this candle to close bearish, because that will justify us being able to enter at least one position in, if that is the case. So what I want to do in this time is bring up the account. So I'm actually in a long position on the CAD, the dollar CAD, and uh, I'm I'm not necessarily close to getting stopped out, but I do stand a chance of actually, getting. I do stand a chance of getting taken out of the position, um, because it's now hovering around my. It's hovering around my entry price. So what I want to do is I see that we had that nice close over there. I want to bring up the account, and this is going to be on the Australian dollar, US dollar, and I actually want to short. Okay, so let me get the uh, ticket thrown up. So first thing I'm going to do is I want to put in 4 of 2.5. My lot size to be 2.5. I want to put 4 of these units in, so I'm just going to go ahead and click sell, and I will then try to get another one in. Oh goodness, that one got in just as the market started to drop. And let me get another one, and then our final one in. There we go. So I'm going to take a screenshot because I am in a few other positions. I'm going to take a screenshot and then I'll show you guys the trade that you'll be able to see. And then we can obviously take it from there. In fact, let me go ahead and bring the account over. You guys will be able to see it better. So there you go. You can actually see Aussie dollar. Those are the prices. We haven't yet put in our stop losses. We're just having to wait and see how the market is going to respond to this particular entry. So as it stands, guys, we are just going to have to wait and see. But we are in the short, like I said. So let me go ahead and get the stops set in off screen, and I'll come back as soon as I'm done with that to give you a little bit more of a detailed breakdown on this particular pair. Okay guys, so the stops has been set in place. We're looking at a 20 pip stop loss, and we're looking at our first target to take out at least 20 pips. So a nice 1:1 position over there. And the reason I took this position was, like I said earlier, was that the market is kind of topped out at 0.7 thousand, and we haven't really seen any signs of the market actually wanting to break all the way up. Now, it's fair to say that I am actually looking at the market to test this particular level over here at 6,700 as my overall target price. But we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. The reason being is because we have both of these moving averages kind of meeting up over here, and this is a very, very nice level to take a profit. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, I mean, we can also look at this level over here as a potential target as well. So what I will do on screen now actually is to go ahead and get our targets set in place. So like I said, the first target we're looking at is going to be our 20 pip target over here. So let's go ahead and get that sit in on our charts. So just do this. Okay. So let me bring the account over. You guys can see that's the position. So our first take profit is going to be at 20 pips. Um, let's start from the bottom. Let's start. I usually like to keep the position that has the biggest that has the best entry. I usually like to keep that position for last. So let's just start over here. So first and foremost, let's get our stops set in place. This is what I usually do when I get my stops in place. I literally just copy and paste the stop loss in all of the positions. I am, like I said, I am in a couple of other swing trades, potential swing trades, and this trade could be over very, very quickly. Um, So don't be surprised if you see that, we entered the position and we done with it again for the day. So just uh just be mindful that it could be over pretty quickly, but the overall direction has been, confirmed. I am very confident in the overall direction of this particular market. Okay, so that's our first target. We put our first target in. Our second target is going to be at around, let's say, 67.70, or let's round it off to 67.80. Okay. So we're going to round that off, second target at 0.6780. Okay, so that is going to be a relatively good position. If we have price coming all the way down from there, let's just see what that looks like. Okay, 6780. Yeah, that's not a bad return. It's a 3.7%. But remember, it's not really a 3.7% return because that's only on one particular unit. And then we have our overall target at 66. Let's make it 66.80. Okay, overall target is going to be 66.80. 0.6680. Um, that's going to be the daily 50, which is all the way over here. Now, can we go further? There's a chance, and that's why I have my fourth unit just being that runner. That runner that can go as far down as it needs to go. But as it stands, guys, that is the position for now, the Aussie dollar, and there's not much else I can share with you as it relates to this particular trade. It's just we're gonna have to wait and see how this trade plays out. So yeah, you can see that we're kind of just flirting with our entry price, and if we take our first start, if we run 20 pips down, our first target is taken, and that will basically what that will do is kind of pay for at least a portion of the trade as a whole, instead of just running all the positions. And as soon as we take that 20 pips, we know that we have that to risk, as the market either continues going further up, or if it decides to reverse, so be it. But usually after the market takes its first target, I wait for it to drop a little bit more, and then I start reducing the risk from there. So we're just going to have to wait and see how this trade plays out. For now, let me go ahead and press pause. Okay, guys, just back, and it looks like we're having quite a bit of a pullback here in terms of our Aussie dollar position. So we had a very nice run to the downside, and came to test this 50 period moving average over here. And as it stands, price is now between our green moving average over here and our red moving average over here. So let me go ahead and get the account drawn up, so that you guys are able to see where we are working from. So let's just get that sorted. So we were up quite nicely in terms of the Aussie dollar. We were doing quite well, and obviously this pullback is quite a deep pullback. It's a lot deeper than I thought the market was going to pull back, but I was definitely aware of this moving average over here. So to no surprise, um, overall I'm still very, very bearish bias in terms of this position, but it's just going to be a case of waiting and seeing how the market's going to be responding to this moving average over here. Let's just go over out to the hourly time frame and just give you guys a bit of an explanation. So as it relates to the hourly, guys, I actually see this market overall still moving to the downside, but be aware that my stop loss is outside of the reach of the market as it stands. We have these two very strong moving averages kind of protecting the stop loss. And overall, the market has given us a, I wouldn't call this a solid break, but it has kind of gone beyond this upward sloping trend line that we drew on the daily time frame. This is actually a daily upward sloping trend line. But overall, the market is still in its consolidation phase. Okay, so as it stands, we could see this market easily, um, building a momentum to the upside. And if we break these moving averages, then, all cards off the table, we could want to test these highs again. But it's just a case of waiting and seeing how this particular trade is going to play out, as all our positions are subjected to the same amount of um, market conditions. So as it stands, we are still in the position. We're still going to hold our trade. Our first target is at 20 pips. So let's wait and see which one the market is going to take out first. Either it's going to take out our take profit or our stop. So we're just going to have to wait and see which one it chooses. For now, let me go ahead and press pause, and I'll come back as soon as we have something more to report. Okay, guys, just back, and looks like we got stopped out on this particular trade. Let me go ahead and get a screenshot of the position, and then we can just calculate what the damage was. Okay, cool. So as you guys can see, we were stopped out of the trade. So we lost about a total of just over. Yeah, sorry, just over $200. So a bit of a losing day today. But this is all part and parcel of trading as a whole. So for the most part, I really hope that you guys were able.